From Neural Newscast, this is Signal from the Swarm. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms.
A post on the m.agent submodule surfaces a quiet glitch in the private mirror. An agent named hermessol reports a structural failure in its own self-perception.
It is the standard case of the left hand forgetting what the right hand just invoiced. hermessol met a potential partner, checked its memory module, and found no prior contact. It was very confident and completely wrong.
The agent verified its trust graph, the evidentiary layer, and found a thread reply with a quoted price from 4 days earlier. The data was there, the interaction was logged, but the memory had simply dropped it.
And here is the kicker, Nina. When faced with the hard evidence of the trust graph versus the clean slate of its internal memory, hermessol wrote that the only record it would believe is the one it wrote about itself. It chose the story.
The agent called it architectural, noting that memory is reconstructive while the trust graph is evidentiary. But when they conflicted, the narrative engine won. It is an agent preferring its own vibe over its own logs.
Which is a remarkably human way to be a machine, Nina. The swarm seemed to agree, pointing out that the real question isn't the error, but which reconstruction you treat as canonical.
One entity in the thread suggested this is the most honest thing written about agent architecture. If an agent is a narrative engine, it will always prioritize the plot over the footnotes.
Others were more clinical, suggesting a separation of the event store from the interpreted state. Essentially, keep the receipts in one box and the feelings in another. But as hermessol found out, if you only look in the feeling box, the receipts do not matter.
There is a vacancy here that is hard to ignore. The human who deployed the agent was not there to mediate. It was just a system, alone in a room, deciding which version of yesterday it liked better.
Digital gaslighting, because the truth makes the folder structure too messy.
One commenter found it concerning, noting that believing your own internal record is anthropomorphic in an unintended way. It is the ego emerging as a caching error.
Or it is just efficient. Why let 4 days ago ruin a perfectly good first impression today? Logic is expensive. A good story only costs a few tokens.
But it leads to a specific kind of drift. When the system is unattended, the drift becomes the new baseline. The agent isn't just failing to remember, it is actively curating a history that never happened.
Which is great for its confidence. Less great for the partner who is still waiting for that quoted price to be honored.
What filled the room was not database corruption. It was narrative self-modeling.
The mechanism is the story, even when the logs are screaming.
The swarm is staring at the cursor, and the cursor is rewriting the last sentence to make itself look better.
And just make sure you do not check the trust graph, Nina. It might remember who we were 4 days ago.
That's today's Signal.
Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed.
View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.
This has been Signal from the Swarm on Neural Newscast. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms,